It's a BumbleKast Mini, sponsored by Tortugas Guerreras 9000.
Now that Eggman is a dad, he decides to send little Sage Robotnik to school. But it isn't without problems. There's this one kid, we'll call him Justin. Sage got in a fight with Justin at school, and the principal had to call Eggman about it. What did Sage and Justin get in a fight over, and how did Eggman handle the phone call from the principal? Surprised it's Justin and not Kevin. Oh. It's always Kevin.
See, Justin was not line leader for the day. Sage got to be line leader, except Justin wouldn't leave the front of the line. So Sage called in the egg pawns to teach Justin a lesson. One does not defy a Robotnik. And as Eggman is getting the news, he just starts cackling because that's his girl.
Yes, that's exactly how it goes. Good stuff. Uh-oh, Sage joined the wrestling team at school, but the problem is that she's been watching way too much Hulk Hogan and has way too much Hulkamania running through her brain and got into trouble. Just how many other people got hurt, how much property damage, and how many hospital bills is Eggman responsible for? Just what sort of Hulkamania-inspired chaos did Sage cause?
I just imagine Sage delivering all of Hulk Hogan's lines, but in that kind of deadpan, soft tone. Hulkamania is going to run wild on you, brother. And then when she threatens to unleash her, however many, I don't remember now, however many centimeter pythons, it's actual like egg pythons, full on robotic attack snakes that come bursting through the wall and pin the poor child to the floor. And this one, Eggman's actually kind of cranky over, because why in the world is she idolizing Hulk Hogan when El Gran Gordo is clearly the superior man of the ring?
Or at least Macho Man Randy Savage. Come on.
I am sorry, Father. The mustache, it called to me. I can appreciate that. I really can. But I thought I raised you better. Now, come on home. I'm going to teach you the Flying Gordito Smasher. May I use that upon my opponent's larynx? You must use it on your opponent's larynx. That's what it's designed for.
Well, as long as she doesn't go through a phase of idolizing Great Gonzalez, I think it'll be okay. Things were going fine at school, but now there's this other kid. We'll call him Chet. Chet does a lot of things. Steals her crayons, eats anything that can fit in his mouth, throws Beanie Babies up on top of the roof at school, farts loudly in class and brags about it, talks endlessly about episodes of the Nickelodeon show The Butt Ugly Martians, endlessly sings the Butt Ugly Martians theme song, you name it. Where does Sage draw the line? Where does, hey, that's kind of funny, I like you, Chet, let's hang out at Father's house, and I'm going to beat you up after school, Chet, 307 behind the dumpster, begin?
No, see, Sage calculates and catalogs all this and brings it home and has a very special episode with her father about this child who's very different and has a great deal of trouble fitting in because they are so different. And Eggman nods along and explains that some people are just wired a little differently, just like, certain models of robots are. That doesn't mean they're an inferior maker model necessarily. They're just a little bit different and need different maintenance records and, different ways of being handled. So here's what he's going to do. Tomorrow, he's going to load up the Eggmobile. They're going to fly over to the school, and he's going to cram Chet into one of the egg prisons, and that'll fix everything.
Problem solved. Actually, Sage could just invite him for a sleepover. So that way, Eggman doesn't even have to go anywhere.
Wouldn't bring that into my house? Absolutely not. I'll bring you the egg prison.
Oh. Well, Chet got wrecked. At last, Sage made it home to the Robotnik family household after school, but she decided to stay up drinking Mountain Dew Code Red and firing up the old Genesis and playing Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure all hours of the night, and it's reflecting in her schoolwork. Just how does Booger Man affect Sage's schoolwork, and what does Papa Robotnik gotta say about his daughter's latest antic?
As much as he encourages her retro gaming habits, I mean, one must learn the classics to be truly educated. Why that one? Why not something a little more wholesome like Dynamite Heady? You're blowing things up in that one. Come on now.
God, that's such a better game, too. Dynamite Heady than Booger Man. Booger Man. Why did they think a Kickstarter for Booger Man would be a good idea? Clearly it wasn't, because it didn't go well.
But no. Eggman puts his foot down. She needs to get her act together. If she is going to, play games, she's going to play the correct ones. And if she's going to ingest junk, then she's going to spend the rest of the evening defragging until she's back to normal.
Sounds good.
I just imagine him pulling up into carpool with the Emerald Hill Zone car with a drill. Beeps the horn, it plays his theme song, I Am the Eggman, and then once she kind of floats over and hops into the sidecar, he just burrs his way through the other cars.
Yeah, through the line of traffic.
Sorry, Stephanie, see you at the PTA meeting.
He can't park in the unloading zone. But you don't tell him what to do, so... Oops.
Say that again and I'll unload a megaton in the unloading zone. Don't try me, Susan.
Eggman parks where he pleases.
Switching. It's so nice that you want to participate in the bake sale. Participate? No, I'm going to rob it.
40 cakes? That's terrible. Switching gears a bit. In Sonic Battle, Cream was, quote-unquote, invited, read forced to take part in, Amy's boxercise with Emerald. So basically, Amy brought Cream into her apartment in Central City so that she could put on boxing gloves and beat her up for exercise. How did Vanilla respond when she inevitably found out about this?
Maybe that's why Amy calmed down afterwards. Vanilla doesn't get angry. Vanilla gets involved.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy. Terrifying. Sonic and friends were holding a party and Cream was invited, as she would be among friends. But somebody, I wonder who, sat on the couch and turned on Beavis and Butthead. Cream saw it and repeated something at home and Vanilla heard it. Just how nuclear does Vanilla go?
Vanilla doesn't get mad. She gets involved.
And then it becomes an episode of Beavis and Butthead. Just in real life. Well, their real life, not ours, but
She finds out who made such a choice for her television in her home on her time and has them sit down with Cream and explain why sometimes we make bad choices in life and really what we should do is make amends and not make those choices again. Then she quietly calls that person a butt munch behind their back.
Fart knocker. Just imagining Cream going around calling people fart knockers.
She pulls on like Knuckles' tail. Excuse me, Mr. Knuckles. I am the Great Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. Mother, what is a bunghole? Everyone's very quiet. Very, very quiet. Just off around the corner, you see Rough and Tumbles like, oh, you're in so much trouble. Shut up.
Cream gets covered in radioactive goop. You know, the kind of radioactive goops that gives you superpowers instead of just a hospital visit. What superpower does Cream get, and does it come with some sort of physical mutation?
Well, see, this has happened. and her ears grew to an enormous size, but she was able to flap them like wings, and now she can fly.
Oh, well, that's convenient. Can Vanilla fly with her giant floppy ears? Did she have the same mutation?
Sadly, no. She has grown out of her flying days.
Oh.
That is not a canonical answer. Don't put it in a wiki. That is a joke.
The BumbleKast is not canon. And we got 3 more questions. In Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic ventures through a land called the Gene Gadget. What on earth is the Gene Gadget? What was Eggman using it for? Assuming it's his.
Well, obviously, it's a gadget for genes. It's, the Gene Gadget. Look, he had a hard time alliterizing all the areas of Flicky Island, okay? And yes, it's a soft G versus a hard G. It's not really good, but he was under a tight time limit, okay? And the birds were not cooperating. He just wanted an evil lair. Can we let it slide? Please? Come on. Be a pal.
Gene Gadget. Good old Gene.
I mean, he's not even really sure why the puppets are panicking anyway, but, you can only have so many zone names before they just completely devolve into a mess.
Well, who are the puppets panicking? I don't know. It's very strange. Very strange indeed.
I don't even think there's like badniks in that zone. I think that one, all the flickies are like contained in these tubes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So you can't even say like the badniks are the puppets because they aren't. I don't think there are badniks in that zone. How silly.
Yeah, well, it's just words at this point. Word salad. It's Homsar. All Homsar over here.
Hey, Reggie, can you gadget my jeans? Look out! Those puppets are panicking at the disco.
Trendy tote bag zone.
It's a Gucci.
I had asked quite some time ago about what you would do with an alternate universe in which Sonic was in fact a clown, as were all his particularly clowny friends. To build upon that, how do you think the real-world stuff would change if Sega's big new mascot was not a blue hedgehog, but Sonic the Clown, the world's fastest clown? Would fear of clowns be lesser with Sonic being a world-famous clown? Would the Macy's parade balloons have less hype due to Sonic being another clown at the parade? What other real-world stuff do you think would be notably different if Sega's big brand and comics and toys based on it was just a bunch of clowns?
I tell you what, the Olympic Games sure would be weird looking.
I got some bad news. They are a bunch of clowns already.
See, I don't remember us going over this scenario, but I'm just imagining a speedy Sonic clown and those big honking shoes just going whenever he gets to top speed.
I'm pretty sure you made that same joke last time.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least I'm consistent.
But I mean, it's still funny. But it's Bell's time.
I don't know. Like, unless it was a very decidedly iconic clown, I don't see it standing the test of time.
Yeah.
It's clowns are kind of a hard sell. You either like them or you don't really care for them. I have nothing particularly against clowns, but it's not really an aesthetic that I'm drawn to. It's like, oh, there's the clown. Moving on.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Do they even have like generic balloons in the Macy's Day Parade anymore? Or is it all licensed stuff?
I think it's practically all licensed, or at least that's what it ends up getting on TV.
I mean, would people just assume that it is a generic clown, or is Sonic the Clown iconic enough in this scenario that they go, oh, there's the Sonic the Clown, the Sonic redefined clownage? Is Cirque du Soleil forced to have a Sonic clown just to bring the normies in to watch their shows? What a nightmare universe.
Boy, yeah, the normies, huh? Wow. The clown.
I know Cirque du Soleil isn't really like that avant-garde and on the all things considered, but it's a little, you know what I mean.
It's a little esoteric. It's not immediately obvious what it is when you say it to people who aren't familiar with it.
I'm just glad they're no longer immediately across the street from my building because, man, traffic was a nightmare for a while.
Ooh.
That, and unless the whole clown aspect was incidental, I can't imagine it taking off as the adventure series that it is today. Like, can you imagine with me playing out with clowns? I mean, I acknowledge the fact that you're playing as a blue hedgehog. It's still a outlandish, goofy cartoon character, but I don't know. Maybe I've been too deep in the fandom and I can't look at this objectively, but just, it's a clown. It throws me off. I feel like that's, I don't know. I don't know if I can look at this with eyes unclouded by Sonic.
Well, I mean, during the 16-bit clown or the 16-bit mascot phase, there was in fact Kid Clown, a mascot mascot platformer in 2 games. He got one game in 1994 and another in 2002 because the Game Boy Advance was a weird system.
Okay.
Only for Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance. So, Kid Clown in Nightmare World. What the heck is that? Oh, for the NES. Okay. So there's the third one there. Okay, cool. So there were...
clearly we need the atonal, gritty adult reboot of the franchise and just call it Man Clown. No more funny business.
Just like bringing back Bubsy again. And the last question. Eggman decides to bring his daughter Sage to the next Olympic Games with Mario and friends. Which Olympic sport does Sage excel at, and how does Eggman behave now that he's a dad? Does Eggman get worried if Sage gets in the ring as an Olympic boxer? Does he scream in the stands and be a soccer dad during football/soccer games? Would he stuff the equestrian horse into a robot if it bucked? Just how wild does this all get?
Angry soccer dad Eggman is hilarious, especially within the scope of the Olympics. You know, this giant interlicensed global competition, and he's there making it petty about his one little girl. That's funny.
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, I think she would have to be disqualified from any of the competitions that involve any degree of aerodynamics because she floats.
Yeah, she wouldn't be allowed to float. You'd have to unfloat her.
She may have to be just banned from track and field entirely because she's not going to jump over hurdles. She will either float above, under, or through because she's intangible.
It's true.
Tails calls foul when she's in skeet shooting. Registered a literal aimbot. You can't prove that. Well, look at her coat. You're going to look inside my daughter, Miles Prower. How dare you, you cad.
Well, Silver can fly, and he's still in it.
Mario and Luigi are just kind of giving them side eye and muttering to themselves. Do things different on that world, I tell you what.
Silver still can be there, and Tails. They can still participate, even though they can fly.
Yeah, but they won't. They're good guys. They'll abide by the rules. Sage is like, I'm achieving victory for my father. I must do everything for victory for my father.
What doesn't
Sage, sweetie, I do appreciate it, but call off the hostage situation. Release everyone of the spectators. We're here for friendly competition. Why must we have friendly competition with the enemies? Just stop making me look bad in front of Uncle Bowser. I do not wish to play with Bowser Jr. He ate my crayons.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play with Bowser Jr. either, to be fair. He was kind of fun in Bowser's Fury. I'll allow it. It's fine. All right, I think that's about all we got.
Yep. Thank you to Tortugas for sponsoring this BumbleKast Mini. If you want one of your own, head over to patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or become a YouTube member. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care.
What 9,000?